Hey, what's up everybody, it's your boy Enrico the Barber. So I've been getting a whole bunch of requests on how to do a drop skin fade. I finally found the time and I put together this drop skin fade tutorial for you guys to make it much easier for when you are giving your client a drop skin fade. In this tutorial I will be giving you guys tips and tricks so that you can get the best end results when giving the drop skin fade. And guys, don't forget to hit that like, comment and subscribe button below. Straight into it. So for today's tutorial I will be using my wild magic clip, and as you can see I went ahead and I set my lever entirely closed, and I'm gonna go and set in my first zero guideline. And in order to get the drop fade effect, when setting in your first guideline, around the ear, just behind the ear right there, your guideline needs to drop way below the occipital bone at the back of your client's head. Now that we got the first step in, we can go ahead and focus on the next. So now what we will do is we'll go ahead and we'll set our lever entirely open so that our blades are set open, and we're going to go ahead and set in our next guideline. When setting in this guideline, we need to make sure that we use a flick motion so that we create a very soft guideline, so that when it comes to the time when we need to blend it out, it is much easier to do so. And now we're gonna go ahead and blend out our zero guideline that we have created. And in order to do so, what we will do is we'll gradually work our way down from our lever being entirely open back to it being closed onto zero. And we'll just adjust. And we'll continue doing this until our zero guideline that we have created has entirely disappeared. So now for the next step, we can go ahead and take our number one clip and set our clipper or our lever on open and set in our next guideline. And as you can see, I'm continuing to use the flick motion to create a much softer guideline, so that when I fade it, when it comes to the time when I need to fade it out, it is much easier to do so. What we will do now is we'll adjust our lever and close it entirely, and go ahead and continue using the flick motion to soften up the guideline. Now for the next step, we can go ahead and grab our half clip, and what we will do is we'll set our lever entirely open, and we'll go ahead and use our flick motion and just soften up that guideline right there. So next I'm gonna go ahead and grab my number 2 clip, and what I will do is I'll set my lever entirely open, and I'll continue using my flick motion, and I'm using my number 2 guard so that I can just get rid of the bulk amount of air, so when I do come in with my smaller guards, I have much more room to blend with. So now I'm gonna go ahead and grab my 1.5 clip, and I'm gonna go ahead to set my clipper, or set the lever entirely open. And as you guys can hear, I keep repeating the flick motion because I can't stress enough. It's a very easy technique to do, and it makes blending, or let me rather say fading, so much easier. Okay, so guys, now I'm gonna go ahead and grab my wild designers. So what I am gonna do now is I'm gonna give my client a very light lineup. I do this so that it can help the fade pop, and then I can just go take a few steps back, and if there's any areas that I did miss, this will help make it stand out. So I can just go ahead, take that size, take the clips, and then work my way down, knock down any guidelines, soften up the area, make sure that the blend is starting to flow nicely. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and grab my number 1 clip, and I have my lever set open, and I'm gonna knock down this guideline right here, and I'm continuing to use the flick motion. Now I've just adjusted my clippers, have my lever closed entirely. So now what I will do is I'll go ahead and I'll grab my half clip, and I'll continue knocking down that guideline that I have left behind in order to make my fade come together. And as you can see, it is slowly coming together. So next off, I'm gonna do some shear work. So I won't be doing much talking throughout the shear work. I just thought it would be really cool if I added this piece into the video as well. So I will be doing a full-on tutorial on shear work, but I just thought it would be cool if I added this in. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to brush my client's hair, because we're gonna focus on the lineup. I'm making sure that all his hair is laying down flat and it's all sitting nicely. So we always start in the center and work our way to either the left or the right, whichever way is more comfortable for you. But it's always best to start the lineup in the center of your client's head. So now that we've got our clipper work set in, we're gonna go ahead and do some blade work. So when trimming your client, it's always better to use some water or some shaving cream or even some shaving lotion as well, as I am using now, because if you do just shave your client on a dry surface, not everyone's skin agrees, so some clients' skin may react. So I think it is better if you ask your client, but preferably it is better to use some sort of lubrication when using a blade on your client. So now I'm just gonna go over my haircut quite a few times. I'm gonna make sure that I haven't left any guidelines behind. I'm gonna make sure that everything is flowing nicely. So it's always good to take a few steps back just to check if you have left something behind, or maybe you didn't see a line, and that's why I say it's always best to just take a few steps back and then look at your haircut from a different perspective. As you can see from me taking that few steps back, by just doing a few simple changes, continuing to use the flick motion when blending, my fade automatically just came together, and now everything is flowing and blending in together very nicely. So once you've done your haircut, you can go ahead, clean your client up, make sure that he's happy with his cut. And guys, that was my full tutorial, my step-by-step tutorial on how to give your client a drop skin fade. If you guys liked it, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please don't be shy to hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that like button as well. Guys, it was your boy Enrico the Barber, and today I brought you the drop skin fade tutorial.